The Brotherhood of Shadow were trapped within a mysterious artifact. What was this artifact? Technically we would know. We already had experiences with Rakata Mind Trap if we had done the side quest. But that's the answer. It's the Rakata Mind Trap. Or like a modified version or something. It should be just Rakata Mind Trap, but well, let's see.
This artifact you speak of, the one that you destroyed, its origins do not lie with the Sith, but rather with the Infinite Empire that tried to enslave them. The artifact seems to have been used as a form of punishment for the corrupt, one that separates mind from body and then casts it into imprisonment. It probably came into the Sith's possession around the time of the failed invasion.
Yeah, so it's Rakata Mind Trap. How did the Brotherhood of Shadow become trapped within the artifact? Well, it's a punishment, so they pressed the buttons, did the ritual, and there it goes, because that's how it works.
The ancient Sith were once ruled by a single man, a wise and powerful king named Addis.
I can't verify
Under his
that.
rule, the Sith were a prosperous and honorable species who had ambitions to expand their influence across the stars to create a galactic society based on principles not too dissimilar from the Ichanis. But these ambitions were quashed after Addis sacrificed himself to save his people from the enslavement of the Infinite Empire. Addis's Sith believed him to be immortal, and that his rule would thus be eternal. When Addis was killed, they were unprepared to deal with the vacuum of power that was created. At first, it was assumed that Addis's advisors, the Sith King's proclaimed successors, would be the ones to lead the Sith into the future, to claim the riches of an unknown galaxy, using the technology they had acquired from the Infinite Empire. Yet Akira Khan Sin, leader of the Brotherhood of Shadow, believed himself to be the one who should lead the Sith, and so he betrayed Addis's designated successors in an effort to install himself and his sect of assassins as the unchallenged rulers of the Sith peoples. Ultimately, the Brotherhood of Shadow was defeated, and their insurrection quashed.
Quashed again.
As punishment for their betrayal, Akira Khan Sin and his Brotherhood of Shadow were condemned to imprisonment within the Infinite Empire's artifact. It is there they would spend an eternity reflecting on the corruptions that had consumed them.
Yeah, so it was used on them. It was used on them. Like he was talking, and I thought, this isn't a bad idea to approach some story or to try to expand. Like, we've got these two groups struggling for power, I guess, in something. I'm sure there's a parallel or something to real life, and one, of course, wins, obviously. And so that one won, and now this is the main power, and then things happen from there. So, Britain, like this. Let's say Britain goes to USA, they colonize, and then they want to keep power in USA, but USA rebels, and establish their own power. And now we're following the story of USA. But there's the story of British Empire still. What happened to British Empire? So we change focus from USA to British Empire, and we're fanficking that. It's an avenue when no one talks about the other power because it's no longer relevant. So you can work with that. It's a problem, of course, if again, we know British Empire didn't stop existing just because USA came to be, and we have history of that because it's not fiction, so we focus on that. I'm convinced I'm clear enough on that. Anyway, let's continue rather than anyway. They got trapped within the artifact because they were bad, and they got trapped they got forced into the artifact as a punishment. I don't know about that Sith King. Tell me about Akira Khan Sin, the Sith who claimed to be the leader of the Brotherhood.
Akira Khan Sin was the Sith who led the Brotherhood of Shadow,
Yes.
a faction of warriors and assassins who pioneered the strategies and tactics which ultimately defeated Korriban's alien invaders. He was said to be a charismatic figure, a powerful force user, and skilled in the arts of combat. When the Infinite Empire invaded Korriban, boasting advanced technologies and superior numbers, it was clear to Akira Khan Sin that they would never be victorious if the war was fought using an approach that relied solely upon brute force.
It's never brute force.
Thus, the Brotherhood of Shadow was born, a sect of elite Sith warriors that chose to forsake the individualistic nature of their species and see themselves as a single entity, an entity that answered only to the Sith King. Whilst the Sith King's armies weathered the wrath of the Infinite Empire, it was the Brotherhood of Shadow that covertly waged a silent war behind the enemy's own lines, decimating its tactical and strategical competence by assassinating the key military figures responsible for coordinating the planetary invasion of Korriban.
I don't think coordinating is spelled like that.
The repercussions of this silent war were soon felt as the Infinite Empire's armies began to collapse upon themselves in the absence of an effective command. Whilst personally leading the armies which bore the full might of the Infinite Empire, Addis, the King of the Sith, was killed. A dying King Addis entrusted the burden of kingship to be spread amongst his most trusted of advisors, proclaiming them the rightful successors to his rule. This move angered Akira Khan Sin, who believed himself to be the one worthy of leading the Sith peoples. After his insurrection was stopped, the rightful rulers of the Sith designated that Akira Khan Sin and his Brotherhood of Shadow be condemned to imprisonment within the Infinite Empire's artifact.
Right, obviously when there's less of you and you're technologically less advanced than the enemy, you're not gonna be doing brute force. It's not like a revelation or a pioneering strategy. Of course you have to hit where it matters the most instead of trying to repel an entire invasion. It's basically guerrilla tactics, and yeah, really, they could have just gone with guerrilla tactics, right? Vietnam did pretty well with that. So the idea is, of course, you have to attack chain of command directly. So all you need to do is win against Russia is just to kill Putin, right? Just send an assassin to kill Putin. That seems to be something that not many people come up with. Like all you need is a guy with a gun to get within range and just pull the trigger. What's the problem? Especially now. I don't know, PR. I don't know. Also, you know the parallel with the war in Ukraine right now. Yeah, all they need to do is send a Ukrainian to shoot Putin. There. Revolutionary. Someone should pioneer that. It's still because like Rakatans are still force sensitive and strong with the force. So it's not like, I don't know. Maybe the alchemy could have been something. I don't know if it makes sense with I don't know. I just don't know whether actually Sith actually won. They just might not have. Or did Rakata won and they just died anyway. They died on their own later on. But they could have been using the alchemy, the thing unique to them that the Infinite Empire didn't know how to work against and work with. So that could have given them an edge, something unique. That could have been something that they brought up. But then it wouldn't be pioneering. That would be like just the ops group, right? The special forces that need to use that alchemy, and they just were instrumental because someone had to do it. So we needed first skilled people to do it, to pull it off, and then second the special weapon. Could have been like that. Let me know what you think about that. And the Brotherhood of Shadow could materialize in the outside world despite being locked in the artifact. How was this possible?
The artifact itself was a crude device, not suited to harboring beings who wielded power on the scale of the Brotherhood of Shadow.
Device?
I suspect as generations passed, Akira Khan Sin had learned how to interfere with the workings of the artifact from within, allowing him to gradually impose his will upon the great void that imprisoned him. But considering his physical body had long since been destroyed, he was unable to escape the artifact, only managing to project himself as a specter into our reality when an individual was foolish enough to tamper with the artifact. And even then, in our world, without the power of the artifact to provide for him, his spirit would have to leech from the life force of the living to fuel and maintain his presence here.
That that, to me at least, actually makes enough sense. So he was powerful, so he was trapped, but he essentially managed to escape on his own. But he couldn't escape back to his own body because there was no body anymore. So he could possess somebody else's body. That should have been it, really. He would have possessed somebody else's body, and that's that. Whomever's. Doesn't really matter. Or maybe it does matter. Because I thought about that as well. So he could possess other people and then be coming back to the trap to just go back in. Because the body wasn't good enough. Because it's all about the midi-chlorians. The body has to be strong in the force as well. So I think it makes sense, actually. Yeah, he's powerful enough to manage to escape. Instead of being trapped there and then someone else letting him out to possess something or someone. To my knowledge. Because it's a similar problem again with the Old Republic, where you can Rakata mind trap either Kemval or Darth Zash in a Rakata mind trap. If you trap Zash, then Kemval is whole and alone. He's him, and only him. If you trap Kemval, then Lord Zash takes over Kemval's body. I decided, or on my main, I decided to trap Darth Zash in a Rakata mind trap. And then I would use that mind trap to, again, fun fiction, again, not good enough roleplay in the role-playing game, to find a host for her, bring her back, and learn from her more, because she's older and more experienced, so she's got knowledge, she's got power. Only the body would be of someone not able to use the force, so that she can't overpower me ever. And then we can trap her again anyway. Or something. She already failed against us, against the player, against the main character in the story, so we still have an upper hand against her. So we're still capable one way or another. So we could have the cake and eat it too, only no one went into that. But with my headcanon, with my understanding of this and what he's saying, and with just this little bit of tweak that he was just able to free himself, I think it makes sense. Cool. Akira Konsin spoke of his intentions to use me as a host for the Brotherhood of Shadow. What did he mean by this? What I explained.
The physical bodies of Akira Konsin and his Brotherhood of Shadow have long since been destroyed by the ravages of time. To exist in this reality, the spirits of these ancient warriors would have to assume control of actual living people. Hosts, if you will. But the true difficulty lies not with simply finding a host, but rather with finding a suitable host. In life, Akira Konsin was a powerful being, and so requires the body of an equally powerful subject. In his eyes, you would have seemed the most suitable of subjects to serve as the physical body for the Brotherhood of Shadow.
You seem strong enough, technically, considering that you were supposed to die but didn't. Oh, right. Back to Taris. They didn't just set explosive on the bridge to explode the bridge, because they could have exploded the bridge and killed the Republic instead of needing to come back in later. But yeah, the story is still, he's running away, explosions happen, he falls and survives. He survives the explosions, he survives the fall, and then has time to regenerate. Why did he survive? Plot armor. Because he maybe could. There was 1% chance, 1/100th of a chance. So we might as well take advantage of that percent. It's our story. It could have happened, so it did. It wasn't impossible. Sure. Fucking salamander. Akira Kon, the Bird of Shadow could materialize. Akira Konsin spoke of his intentions to use me as a host. Yes. There's a lot. This place that you call the Temple of Shadow. What connection does it have to the Brotherhood of Shadow? Oh, Revan. It's their temple. They built it to cultivate their teachings and rituals.
The Temple of Shadow is an ancient and forgotten structure built by King Addis's designated successors to house the artifact, which the Brotherhood of Shadow was imprisoned within. Constructed out of materials scavenged from a captured enemy temple, it also became the focal point for the Brotherhood of Shadow's power.
You know what would be a good idea? How you could, what do you say? Something, keep over.
The Temple of Shadow is an ancient and forgotten...
To house the artifact, to house the prison. First of all, Rakatans used mine traps and they stored them somewhere. Every Rakata mine trap was not designated a temple for its upkeep and some temple girls. They just kept it, in vaults. Really, it's prison. There's a raid in the Old Republic about it. Technically, I think something about it. I think. So, where you could store it to make sure that Akira Konsen is not gonna possess anyone and no one's gonna go get it? At the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Also, can you just destroy the trap and thus destroy the spirit? Because, you can trap the guy and then he's got no body to possess. Then put it away. Throw it into the fucking sun. Leave it in the depth of space. It doesn't have any beacons. Because my idea with the Mariana Trench is immense fucking pressure. So I started doubting whether it will break the Rakata mine trap. But no one's gonna swim there. No one's gonna take a what is it? Submarine to go there. Space is a different set of conditions to work with compared to 11, 14 kilometers of water pressing down on you. It's not the same. Yeah, so no one's gonna get there. No one's gonna get near there to get possessed. That seems like a reasonable idea. Just bury it somewhere and forget about it. Throw it into the sun. Leave it in the cold, dead space. In the interstellar area? What is it? Interstellar space, I think. That's what it's called. Because, remote, forgotten, unfindable. Not a temple dedicated to keep someone away. Because then everyone knows. That's my idea. And that's how I would have done it. And we wouldn't have the story. So, thankfully, the people were idiots. Cease to exist. Alright. The Brotherhood, right? This place you call the Brotherhood of Shadow ceased to exist when the artifact was destroyed. How do you intend to revive them? By providing, the Brotherhood of Shadow ceased to exist when the artifact was destroyed. So if we destroy the artifact, we destroyed the mind in it, apparently. We've got a confirmation here. So what's the weasel out of this?
Whilst it is true that through your actions the artifact was destroyed, the spirits trapped within survived.
What the fuck does that mean?
Revan, a Duros named Mechanic and Shana May are the remains of the Brotherhood of Shadow. When the artifact was destroyed, the Brotherhood of Shadow's fractured remnants penetrated all who had witnessed their destruction with intentions to leech from their life force in an effort to survive. Scattered and weakened, these remnants must be returned to the focal point, the place in which its essence can be restored and its power once again made whole. The focal point is this very chamber, the heart of the Temple of Shadow. The ritual I have performed on each of you, its purpose was to siphon the Brotherhood of Shadow's remnants from within you and allow them to be reunited. The raw concentration of energy that you see before you is for all intents and purposes the Brotherhood of Shadow. With its power reunited, all that remains for them is to find a means to exercise that power. A host.
But I'm already here. But I guess we need the ritual to first get possessed. I don't really like that explanation. I think the idea behind a Rakatan mind trap is not that you trap a spirit of someone, and if the trap breaks, the spirit can do whatever. Especially if the body is well. I'm not sure. Fuck. Because generally, so the idea would be, It's sort of like America. What's the comparison? The comparison is that do you believe in death penalty to kill someone for what they've done? A lot of people don't. So you don't sentence someone to death. Instead, what America does is it gives you 340 years in prison without the right of parole, or multiple life sentences, also without the right of parole. Meaning that you can't apply to get out earlier if you show signs of repentance and rehabilitation. So yeah, what the fuck does that do? The guy can only live 90 to 100 years at best. What does extra 240 years in prison do him? Nothing, right? But here we've got the technology. We can rebuild him. That is to say, Rakata Mind Trap we've been in there. It's void. And you're alone there. It's a psychological torture for millions of years. Or thousands of hundreds. Actual 340 years in prison without the right of parole. And you're suffering every year of it. Alone in a sensory deprivation chamber. That's maddening. That's suffering and that's punishment. What do they do after that? Maybe they destroy it, maybe they keep them to make them suffer more. But if you break it, the spirit would come back to the body. Maybe it would come back to the nearest body as well, with the host possibility, ability, something like that. Also, because in this game, again, we've got the Rakata Mind Trap, and we're riddling a Rakata trapped in it, and if he wins, he gets our body, so we can swap bodies. So I guess if the Rakata Mind Trap is broken, the problem is distance, I think, in this situation where how far is the spirit allowed to go to find a host? Is the host able to? No, the host isn't, right? Because they have to be trapped in the Rakata Mind Trap. So you can't. That's how it should be. You can't possess someone that is willing, that has their own quote spirit unquote. Because the body is taken. You need a free body. You can't kill a guy because the body will be dead and you can't possess it. You have to put the guy in a Rakata Mind Trap and then swap the spirit for someone else. You can't just take over a body. So if the Rakata Mind Trap gets destroyed and there is no available body to embody, to possess, then I guess you're passing over. Similar to Magic Jar from D&D, I would say. Yeah. Similar, not exactly, because yeah, so I think if there is no available body like that, then you wouldn't get it, and there wouldn't be available bodies like that because there isn't Rakata Mind. There aren't bodies relieved of their spirits by Rakata Mind Traps anymore. They're all dead. You have to get a new Rakata Mind Trap, get a new body without the spirit. So I'm not about that. I'm not supporting this explanation. You need the trap. But again, but without it we won't have the story. So of course we're already here. I'm already playing. I'm not gonna quit. We keep going. Whatever. I don't like it. May be subjective, but I also have my own reasoning. So it doesn't fit with mine. And who's the most important in here? Me. That's right. I don't like it. To revive them. Yeah, there's parts of them in us, especially in Mechanic, who didn't witness the destruction of it. Pretty sure. There was no one in the room other than me. What is the Brotherhood of Shadow's power? What is the Brotherhood of Shadow's power? What is the question? What are we asking for? What can they do? Like the abilities? Or the extent? How much of a Force Lightning can they cast? Or what other things other than Force Lightning can they do? What?
The power of the Brotherhood of Shadow lies in the ability to summon forth these creatures of betrayal at will. And only one, the dominant will, may exercise that power. When the Brotherhood of Shadow is introduced to a new host, the existing dominant will of the Brotherhood must confront and defeat the will of this host. The victor is granted the Brotherhood of Shadow's power, yet also suffers a loss of identity when they become its personification.
This is gonna be the reward for all this. That we're gonna win and we're gonna have the power and we're not gonna lose our individuality or whatever he said. We're gonna have like a token that we're gonna be able to use, and we'll summon just more brothers of shadow that will fight for us. That's their power, that they can summon spirits continually. It's like the Army of the Dead from Lord of the Ring, at least the movies, where you can't fight them. If you kill one of the spirit, the guy can just summon another, so you have to kill the guy. But there is, you know, like here, the whole bridge with infinitely spawning brothers of shadow to stop you from getting there. Somewhat makes sense, but also explosives exist. How fast can you summon them? 1 every round? 2 every round? More? Faster? Because explosives exist. You can swipe. Oh, look at this. I haven't noticed that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dash, dash, dash. I wonder what would happen if I just hit dash on my keyboard. Because you could have gone with 0 as well. Or just number them 10, 11. It doesn't have to correlate to alphanumerical keys on your keyboard. Power. Let's go through that dialogue. Fuck, if I hit the dash and it kicks me out to no more questions, let us fight. We can have our cake and eat it too. What are the Brotherhood of Shadow's beliefs?
Since ancient times, and more so since their imprisonment, the Brotherhood of Shadow, rather than seeing themselves as a group of individuals united by a cause, see themselves as merely a single entity. These beliefs were personified in the Brotherhood of Shadow's mantra, the Code of the Shadow.
Uh-huh. We don't get to ask about the Code of the Shadow to my previous questions. So destroy. We asked about Chana, we asked about him, we asked about that. So let's hit a dash and see what happens. Nothing. That explains it. We could have gone with 0 again. We could have gone with 0. Or not just with that, but also with the plus. And with all kind of bunch of symbols on the keyboard. The star, shift, plus, maybe combination, I don't know. But also the num keys don't need a shift. Because like you can shift an 8 and you'll have the star, the asterisk. But if you hit asterisk on the numpad, you'll get asterisk. So you could have gone with that. Anyway, no more questions. Let us finish this.
Then, at last, it is time.
At last,
May,
indeed.
once an individual with an identity to call her own, now nothing but a hollow shell. Yet she can still be salvaged of use. She will become the Brotherhood of Shadow's host. When the reunited essence of the Brotherhood is introduced to her body, her hate-filled spirit will gradually be consumed by Akira Khan's sin, the dominant will. Yet the power traditionally wielded by that dominant will shall no longer be theirs to grasp when they have fully consumed the spirit of their new host. Instead, through the forced bond of master and apprentice, that power will be transferred to me. I will claim the Brotherhood of Shadow's power, yet I will not become their personification. I will retain my identity. I will remain Darius Solomon.
Alright, okay. Good thing that I stole everything I could from them.
I have waited so long for this day. My mind and my body are prepared to face you, to defeat you.
Your body is ready, huh?
Awaken, Shadow, and claim your prize of flesh.
Alright, I get it. So first off, Solomon, thank you for telling us your plan so that since I'm the master of Shadow, Shadow's master. Oh, no pun intended. Master of Shadow, Shadow's master. I will be the guy that takes over the Brotherhood of Shadow and keep my identity. Not you, Solomon. You should have killed me first and then utilized her. I should have been under... Right? Because this is happening. Because he needs to go through the ritual, so Shadow should be now put away. I should be defeated, put under the ritual, and then he'll win through her. But I guess our part of the ritual is not really needed if we just defeat Solomon and do what he said. Also, Chaname will be forever in debt to us again that we've saved her. And also, Solomon, wasn't your idea to just get Chaname away from me, not to resurrect Brotherhood of Shadow for you? What's your motivation again? Save Chaname from me, or get powers of of Dark Brotherhood? When did you come across Dark Brotherhood again? Oh right, on Orion. When did you devise the whole scheme to take them over to gain their powers? Yeah, good thing we're still missing crucial steps in this whole shit. That will be it for today. Thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed. Let's see each other in something I play for you for free. In the meantime, of course, interact with this video and every other videos on my channel, preferably by watching and sharing it with your friends. Subscribe, and if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault.